Hi, I'm Kevin Klein of the Winnipeg Sun, and we are back for another edition of the Newsmakers. And this week I brought back Councillor Brian Mayes. And why I did that is if you've been following along and reading the Winnipeg Sun and watching these videos, you'll know that Councillor Mayes has done a lot of work, yeoman's work, some would say, in respect to the four-plexes. This is a bylaw that the city wanted to get passed that would allow four-plexes basically anywhere in the city within 800 meters or whatever of a transit route. And of course, this would make significant changes in heights. So Brian has done a lot of work on that to bring that to the public, to hear public comment. And I'm proud to say I was gleeful for you, Councillor, when I heard that your motion passed to delay the fourplexes. So congratulations. And how do you feel about that?
Well, I was pleasantly surprised the motion passed, frankly. And Councillor Orlikow has been a great ally on this, and we had support from people on one person on EPC and some other people. And it wasn't delaying the fourplexes. And yeah, the proposal was everywhere in the city and higher, quite a bit more height allowance if you're within 800 meters of frequent transit, and lots of definitions to be argued over. But the idea was, we'll have a hearing in March. And when we finally got the agreement with the federal government, we don't have to have our position on that till mid-June. So my motion was, let's have the hearing in June. Lots more time for input from the public. You're essentially rezoning the entire city. There should be more than one public meeting. There should be a lot of public meetings. And there may be an election between now and then. We don't know. But a lot of people at City Hall are saying, well, we have to do this. It's a condition of getting federal money. And then, all these people in the public are saying, well, but we might not get the money, right? And they go, yes, exactly. So anyway, yes, I don't know if I was gleeful, but I thought it was a good day for democracy that you say we don't have to have the hearing in March. Lots more time to consult with the public.
So really, this is allowing public to have some more input on it, as you alluded to. But it's so important. Like if people want to really understand why you did this, I think you sum it up by saying you did it for residents in Winnipeg because after this gets passed, and if it did get passed, they have nowhere to go. They'd have no say.
It would be very hard to undo this. And yeah, it's a plan to take away the right to, question, to have a right now, if somebody wants a rezoning, there's a hearing. You can go and speak. You might not win, but you go and speak. This is going to wipe out all of that for most of the city, for most development. So let's be careful. Let's take our time with that. And the gaslighting, a term I don't like, but that's already started. People saying, well, so you're saying fourplexes are inherently evil. No, I'm not. No, I've got a whole discussion paper out about where I think they should be. I voted for the infill guidelines which contain fourplexes. I didn't say everything has to say single family. So I'm just pushing back saying, let's have some due process here. I got an open mind. I put out a discussion paper that should reflect that I have an open mind of this, but let's not ram it through and then, let the councillors deal with the complaints later when people find out about it. No, let's have an open debate.
So when you say people are pushing back on you, you mean other elected officials, right? I can't see residents pushing back on the fact that they want to have more input on this. I would think maybe some elected officials might have an issue with that. Is that what you're referring to, or do you actually have residents that are saying,
no,
you're against fourplexes?
Some people, online, some people on council, sort of some people on the staff saying, sort of claiming, the people who oppose this are, they'll be violent. And look, I had 3 town hall meetings on this. No one got violent. So let's just not mischaracterize the public here. Let's be respectful and have a debate about this. No one's saying, we have to have single family residence homes for every lot in the city. All this sort of, misstatement of what I'm trying to do. Let's have an open debate about this. It's a big rezoning. As a result, the council is going to lose money that we now get through what's called land dedication. So we'll be less able to fix up the neighborhood parks and that kind of thing. We'll have less money to do that and more people in the neighborhood. Well, that's worth discussing publicly. So, yeah, Yeah, I mean, it wasn't 8-7 vote. It certainly wasn't unanimous, but I was very pleased to get that opportunity. And we'll in the new year we'll be able to talk a lot more. We have the details of what the admin is proposing. I'd said I wouldn't talk about that until the new year, so I didn't yesterday. Some others did, but it wasn't all bad. I could live with some of it, and some of it I didn't like. But let's give the public a chance to weigh in.
So is that what's next for you, Councillor Mayes? Are you going to have some more public meetings and get some more input on this before the June meeting?
Yeah, that's certainly my goal, and my desire is to there should be meetings throughout the city. I mean, it's a big proposal. It would affect every ward. It would affect each ward different wards very differently, though. A couple of councillors saying, "Oh, this won't affect me." Well, it certainly could, and it's going to affect a big chunk of the city. And I would not define a bus that runs every half hour on the weekends and at night as high frequency. I just wouldn't. I'm not there, so that the city is saying things like that, and that's we'll take an 800-meter distance from that. That's our high. This isn't the Bloor subway if it's running half an hour, on nights and on weekends. So lots to be discussed, I would say, and let's not rush it.
Good for you. I look forward to seeing and hearing about more of those meetings. So when you have them, make sure you let us know at the Winnipeg Sun so we can let people know.
Thank you for your interest in this. Yeah, it's a big. I mean, I'm trying to let people know this is a big issue. This is the big implications. It wasn't in anybody's election platform. So, the federal Liberal government may change or not, but, to say to people, we have to do it and we have to do it now to get the money. And then in the next breath to say, of course, we might not get the money. Like that is not a good context for a public hearing. So I guess we'll see where things land in June.
No, I was going to end it there, but you brought up something because I've been communicating back and forth with the Minister of Housing's media representative, and if you want to get a headache from getting dizzy from all the political spin, you should talk to media people at the federal government level. But the reality is that this fourplex is not the only issue that has to be voted upon. There's other issues to get that money from federal funding. So let's be very clear about that.
Well, and this whole confusion, I mean, the people lashing out at me. Well, look, I had no role in. There was a report a week ago saying we're going to delay the infrastructure. We had money to build bigger pipes and that kind of thing to get more units. We're going to delay that for a year because it's uncertain if we'll ever get the third round of funding. So we're going to just concentrate on units downtown, basically social housing. Not a bad kudos to our staff. That is true. Then the next year's funding might not be coming. And then we get into this bizarre debate. Clearly that upset somebody with the federal government. So now press releases are coming out a few days ago and the whole thing's rewritten. So the public gets no notice. We have this whole motion yesterday about here's our new infrastructure plan. Never went to committee, never went to the public. So yeah, I'm certainly not to blame if there's confusion over that part of this program. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this housing accelerator fund.
Well, and let me be very clear on a final note that we asked them if Winnipeg was getting an extension, if the government had granted them an extension. And after a little bit of back and forth trying to get them just to answer a question, yes or no, the answer was no. They did not grant Winnipeg an extension. That they, at this particular point in time, they believe Winnipeg is on target, but we know differently. But so anyways, I'll leave it at that because again, when you talk to media people at the federal government level, it's that old, I can't remember who sang that song, "You Spin Me Round, Round, Round." So it's we'll leave that for where it is. Yeah, we'll leave that right there.